Hi guys, today I'm going to show you a simple at-home full body warm-up and finishing up with a hamstring stretch. We're going to focus mostly on spinal mobility, a little bit of shoulder strength, and then finishing with a little stretch for the lower body. We're going to start with the feet, hip distance apart, knees will be a little bit soft. We'll take a nice big deep breath in, arms reach out and up. Let's grab onto that right wrist, pulling up and out of that waist, folding to the left. Feeling that nice stretch through the side of the body here. Tucking through that tailbone, rounding through the spine, dropping the chin to the chest, reaching the arms forward, releasing the arms down by your side, head is heavy, and we're rolling up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Take that breath in, grabbing onto the left wrist, folding to the right, rounding through the spine, reaching forward, relaxing the arms, and rolling up. We'll take that series 4 more times. Breath in, to the left, rounding forward, release, and roll up. Breath in, to the right, rounding forward, release, and roll up. Last time. Lengthening through the side of the body, tucking through that tailbone, rounding out through the low back, upper back, release, and the last one. Over, contracting, releasing, and rolling up. The next thing we'll do, we'll roll all the way over the legs. If you don't have the hamstring mobility to get your hands all the way to the floor, you can always place something in front of you to rest your hands on. It could be the edge of your bed, coffee table, a kitchen chair, anything that you can reach forward to place your hands on. We'll roll down through that spine, resting the hands either on the floor or on an object in front of you. We'll simply soften the knees, relaxing the feet into the floor, and then extending through those legs. I'm going to lengthen my head away from the tailbone, reaching out into a little flat back. My weight stays rocked back in my heels, feeling a nice stretch and length through the back of my leg, through my hamstrings. And then releasing back over. Bending deeply through those knees, and stretch, lengthening through the spine, and release. Twice more. Bending deeply through the knees, and extend, lengthen, and release. Last one. Bending, and stretch, lengthening through the spine, and release. This time bending deeply through that left knee, and then spiraling that right arm open. Holding in that twist for a breath, and then softening deeply through both legs to reset center. Extending that left leg as you open that left arm, and center, spiraling open to the right, and center, and spiraling open to the left, and center, softening deeply through both knees, and then gently rolling up through that spine, one vertebra at a time. Head is last. We'll grab onto our resistance band next. We'll take a little chest opener and a shoulder warm up. Taking the resistance band shoulder height, just nice easy resistance on the band, nothing too crazy tight. If you want more resistance, walk the hands closer together. Less resistance, walk the hands further apart. Inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead, and then gently pulling that band apart as you reach the arms all the way back and behind you. We'll lift back and forward a few times, feeling that nice open stretch through the chest and shoulders, nice and easy through the neck. Again, if you want a deeper stretch through the chest, walk the hands in a bit. And forward last time. And only going as far back as your shoulder mobility allows. Maybe it's only to here and that stretch feels deep enough for you, holding there for that breath and then returning forward. We'll reset those arms right at shoulder height, palms facing the floor. We'll get a little warm up through that upper back, opening the arms all the way up to the side and returning forward. We'll take 8 here, keeping the arms straight, feeling that upper back work to pull the band open and reach the arms out to the side. Again, if you'd like more resistance, walk the hands in a hair, opening out and returning. My knees are just a little bit soft, abs are nice and strong, so I don't arch through my back as the arms open. Last one here. Reaching the band forward, lowering the arms down. The next thing we'll do is go down to the mat or to the floor to our hands and knees and do a little bit more spinal work and glutes and hamstrings. Next we'll be on our hands and knees. You want to make sure you set that position up so that your wrists are right underneath the shoulders and the knees are right underneath the hips, so you're not too close or too far away. Just taking a moment to find that balance, top of the head, reaching away from that tailbone, reaching that right arm forward, left leg behind you. Take a moment here just to feel that stability, nice strong core. We'll tap that hand to that knee 10 times. Exhaling as you pull in, inhaling as you reach away. Trying to keep that back nice and stable. 3 to go. We'll reach here and hold for 10 seconds. Every time you exhale, pulling that belly button in toward the spine, keeping that nice long neck, strong leg behind you, and resetting on all fours. Taking a moment to feel that stability through all 4 limbs, and then extending that left arm forward, right leg back, and repeating on the other side. Noticing the difference between the 2 sides. Always initiating that movement by stabilizing through your core, keeping those abs engaged. 2 more. And holding for 10. And then resetting on all 4s. We'll flip around onto our backs, warming up the glutes and hamstrings a little bit, and then taking a hamstring stretch. So lying on your back here, your feet could also be propped up on an unstable surface, like a foam roller lengthwise, a medicine ball, or a large exercise ball. The more unstable the surface, the more work the glutes and the hamstrings will get. So we'll just go flat on the floor today. Starting with a few hip rolls here, bridges, imprinting that spine, so feeling that engagement of your abs, and then peeling the hips off the mat. Little hold at the top, making sure the knees are tracking straight over the toes so they're not separating or falling in toward one another, and then rolling right back down through that spine. We'll take a few more here. A little pause at the top, rolling through. Trying to feel as much articulation through that spine as possible, so imagining those hips are on little strings, and then rolling through. That tailbone is the last thing to hit the mat. We'll go twice more. We'll hold on the last one, lifting the hips, and we'll take some small marches here. Stabilizing through that left side of the body as you float the right leg up and lower down. Switching sides. As you alternate right to left, trying not to let the pelvis drop in between, but keeping that nice strong work of that opposite glute and hamstring, back of that leg. We'll take 1 more on each side. Holding at the top, and then roll through that low back, releasing at that last moment. We're gonna grab back onto our resistance band. This could also be a towel, it could be a fit circle, anything that you can reach up and wrap around that foot. So putting as much tension or resistance on that band as you wish, and pulling that leg toward you. You can have a little softness of that knee or full extension, really whatever feels the best on the back of your leg. Supporting leg can be bent here or lengthened all the way down. Again, whatever feels the best and most comfortable on your body. We'll hold here for a couple of breaths, just finding where that space is that feels like the best stretch for you. We'll take a little softening of that knee and then extending that leg back up. Bending the knee and stretch. We'll go twice more. A little release of the hamstrings and extend back up. Last one. And stretch. Now we'll laterally rotate the leg, turn the toes outward, opening that leg to your right shoulder here. Left knee can bend and open in opposition for that counterbalance and an added stretch on that left side. We'll hold here for a breath or 2, really as long as feels needed on that inner thigh. Then taking that leg back to center, extending your opposite leg long internally rotating that leg, taking it a hair across the midline of the body, so not too far. You want to keep your pelvis on the mat, so you don't want it to lift off. So it's only coming across a little bit. And then up toward that slight diagonal toward that left shoulder. Should feel a stretch across the outside of the leg here, shifting around that shape of that right ankle, so you get a nice stretch across the outside of that ankle and shin as well. Holding here for a breath or two, or again as long as needed. Gently finding center, bend that knee, removing that strap, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Starting parallel, leg long or bent, bending and stretching 4 times. Holding here for a breath or two. Laterally rotating that leg, turning the toes outward, opening that leg to that left side. Feeling now that stretch through your left inner thigh. Right leg can open in opposition. Keeping your whole spine, both shoulders flat on the mat or the floor. Finding center. Internally rotating that leg, lengthening that opposite leg long, taking it a hair across the body and shifting around in that ankle a bit. Finding center here, bending the knee and removing your foot from the strap. We'll finish with a hip stretch, crossing that right ankle over that left knee. Just using that right hand to gently guide that knee open. You're gonna hold here in this stretch. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, reaching both hands through, grabbing that left thigh and holding here. Trying to press that low back into the mat as much as possible so you're not curling the pelvis up, but keeping it pressing flat will give you a deeper stretch through that right hip. And then we'll switch sides. Crossing left ankle over that right thigh, gently holding here, maybe a little bit of pressure with that left hand, or reaching through, picking that right leg up. Releasing that leg and gently rocking yourself up to a seated position.